Hello, my name is Ron D'Souza, and today I'm going to be speaking on the history of the hamburger. The hamburger was founded in 1895 in New Haven, CT. It was created by Louis Lasson, who was a Danish immigrant who opened his restaurant in 1895, also known as Louis' Lunch. Now, I've been to Louis' Lunch, and I must say it is very nice. What he did was that the beef patty was mincemeat taken with two pieces of bread, and it was two pieces of toast that he put in between. He then took that and he put it into a broiler, cooked that in for 5 minutes, and after that, that became also known as the beef patty or the hamburger. The ingredients that Louis used was two pieces of toast, mayo, and two tomato slices. The timeline of the burger. So the burger meat or mincemeat was first used by the Mongols in the 13th century. The Mongols would take raw meat, raw mincemeat, put it into their saddlebags when they'd ride their horses, and as they would be riding, the saddlebag would hit against their horse, which would then soften the meat. From there, when the Mongols conquered most of Asia and part of Europe, it was then taken to Moscow, and in Moscow, mincemeat or the raw meat was then turned into steak tartare. Then the Russians, while traveling around Europe, it was then moved to the port of Hamburg, Germany. And that's when the burger mincemeat started to take on more and more. From that point on, Germany went through a political revolution, and from there, people from Germany then immigrated to the New World. From the New World, from the 17th century to the 18th century, there isn't really that much information on what really happened from how it got from Germany then to New York. But then in New York, it became the Hamburg steak, which is pretty well known today, and steak is pretty big in New York as well. And then from the 18th century then to 1895, Louis Lesson then made the hamburger. For it to be considered a hamburger, it needed to be put in between two slices of bread. So there are many, um, debates on, who created the hamburger. But the hamburger was created by Louis Lunch in Connecticut because it was put in between two pieces of bread. The hamburger is also a staple in fast food. In 1921, the first burger chain opened, also in White Castle. White Castle was first founded in Kansas by two friends, and so White Castle focuses on sliders. So sliders are very different from burgers, but what they did is they took minced meat and made it into mini burgers, and they put onions and they cooked it a specific way. That became the first burger chain. And then in 1928, the first cheeseburger was made. The first time that cheese appeared on a burger was at Odell's Diner in Los Angeles, California. This also became a huge deal because then from that point on, the cheeseburger was what became known as America's favorite fast food across the nation. In 1948, the first McDonald's was opened in San Bernardino, California. McDonald's became some of the first prominent, burger chain in which it focused on fast food. Being fast, they tried to make every order in at least 30 seconds. So you would get your drink, your Coke, your fry, and your burger. And so the burger meal was 15 cents. From that point on, the burger started to spread around all across America, and people were starting to find new ways in how to eat the burger and how to do fast food. As fast food developed across America, the burger did as well. In 1948, the same year as McDonald's, when McDonald's opened, another burger chain opened up, which some of you may know is In-N-Out. In-N-Out is beloved by Americans, and in the fast food industry, Shake Shack, In-N-Out, McDonald's, Five Guys are all the biggest competitors for the burger franchise. The first drive-through burger joint was opened in 1948, also known as In-N-Out Burger. In 1988, McDonald's released the Big Mac. The Big Mac is probably the most famous burger across the world. Many of you know what the Big Mac is. And so the Big Mac did change how burgers are looked at today. Fun facts. During World War I, the U.S. government tried to rename hamburgers as Liberty sandwiches. So that was also a way to promote the U.S., promote, liberty, promote just a way for us, to be nationalistic, I think, is because, the burger is very associated with America. If, you look at a burger, the first thing that people, the first thing that people think of is America. Americans also consume 13 billion hamburgers a year. That is a considerable amount of meat and a considerable amount of burgers. On average, Americans eat around 3 burgers a week. It's actually known as being, a very important part of Americans' diet for some reason. Hamburgers get their name from the German city of Hamburg, as I touched on before. I'm not really sure why they decided to call it the Hamburg, but I think it was also because it got the minced meat and the whole idea of the ham and the burger started to become very popular then. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I wish you guys a good afternoon.